The beauty for me of CSSP is for a science educator to be able to live at that nexus of the science that's happening and also being able to contribute to the conversation when it comes to education. CSSP is a perfect fit for a science educator because we can not only bring our experiences from the science community to bear on the work and the important work that CSSP is engaging in, we can also contribute to the part about education and how do we come up with and grow the next generation of scientists. And so just the amount of scientists and the amount of science that you're exposed to as a part of CSSP. For example, when we do the Frontiers of Science, there's nothing like that in the world where you're meeting with people and then a couple of years later you wind up hearing that they won a Nobel Prize. The other part that I think is near and dear to CSSP is the idea of leadership. And how do you help someone who is a leader in their particular field of study to see themselves and to help them grow as leaders of people who are in the same field, of their colleagues, if you will. And I think CSSP serves a very unique role in that it can help people to better understand how to be the best leader they can be of their fellow scientists. I've been elected president of my organization, and now what? And so now I have to figure out and transfer some of these skills I've learned, like budgeting, to work with an executive director. Now I have to supervise and work with an executive director, and then all of these other voluntary committees. For me, when I walked into CSSP, I became enraptured with the idea that these were people who were, in a way, in the same struggle with me. That not only could we learn about how to be an effective leader, we could also share stories and learn from each other. And so that community of learners, if you will, I found so valuable in CSSP and in those leadership workshops. As an African-American male, that also contributed to it too, because I was able to bring up some issues that were unique to my perspective, being only the second African-American to ever lead that particular organization. And so with that brought in some additional challenges, and there's some unique opportunities. And I think CSSP helped me to navigate some of those spaces, to help me to understand what my role was, how important it was, and also how to navigate it in a way where everybody felt valued. That came out of attending my very first CSSP workshop, where I felt so welcome. And from there, attending all of the other events we have going on, that has been confirmed and indeed more valued every day and every time I interact with something else affiliated with CSSP. Let's make sure these things are brought to the table, because if we are going to diversify the scientific workforce and who does science, those are the kinds of little things that can add up to bigger things. I remember when we had American Geophysical Union come in and do a session on harassment. And they talked about the policies, they talked about things they had done for their conferences and how they put in a code of conduct for their conferences and the like. And that really resonated with me from personal experiences and also from experiences I've had vicariously. And I immediately took that back to our board and said, we need to be a bit more proactive. We have these things happening, and it's not really proactive in the sense that it's never occurred. But we need to put something in writing that really shows folks that this is important to us, that we cannot and we will not tolerate any kind of harassment. And that came directly out of having those people to share with us at our leadership workshop. So again, the things I've learned at CSSP, I've tried to pay it forward, and knowing that there is benefit in other spaces, I've tried to do as much of that as I can. The big picture for me is CSSP, I think, has helped me to grow, to learn more about myself and what it means to be a leader. I have that mentality like Nelson Mandela, lead from behind. I'll let the other people get the fanfare and the fame. I'll step forward when I need to, because many times is where I need to provide a shield for my colleagues, or I'll be the one that falls on the sword. I think CSSP has helped me to better understand myself and what does that mean, how to read the room and when it's appropriate to step forward, and even more so when it's appropriate to step back and let other people shine. Again, CSSP has helped me to do that, even when I was serving as president of my professional society, and including when I was chair of the board, trying to make sure that we gave many people opportunities to shine, because we have a lot of people who are doing great work, and that empowerment to me has been very important. And CSSP has helped me to grow in that space quite a bit over the years. Our organization had one publication, and one of the things we talked about was, were we meeting the needs of our membership with that one particular journal that was very research based. And so the idea right before I came onto the board was there an opportunity to develop another journal? And so we came up with an online practitioner-based journal. That came out of conversations at CSSP about how do you diversify your revenue stream, if you will. That journal now is one of our more successful journals. It competes with our traditional research-based journal in terms of its reach to our membership. Again, came out of conversations at CSSP. Now we're talking about how do we engage our membership beyond the traditional meeting. Well, again, thinking about CSSP with our chats, our leadership forums. Now we're talking about taking advantage of social media and doing all of these other things to help us stay connected. My impact in working with my organization has come out of CSSP. Parting comment is, just give it a try. I mean, that for me, that's been my modus operandi. Anybody who gives the Council for Scientific Society Presidents a try, I have a 95% confidence level, because that's the highest I can go statistically, right? In reality, for me, it's 100%, but I'll go with the statistics and say 95% confidence level that should someone gives any aspect of CSSP a try, whether that's the monthly chat, the leadership, the forum we're doing next November, the leadership workshop that we do twice a year, if they try any aspect of CSSP, I guarantee them that they'll find something of value for their particular scientific society and for them individually as leaders in their respective scientific fields.